What's going on, guys? This is the DeFi Crypto Alliance show where we do our best to be the bridge between our fellow real estate investors, entrepreneurs alike, and the cryptocurrency world because crypto, as we all know, is the biggest opportunity over the next year or so, and nothing's even close. So, welcome along on the journey. We're pumped to have you guys on for Open Mic Friday today, which will be a lot of fun. But before we do that, of course, Corey, take it away.
Absolutely. Corey Geary here, and just truly blessed to be on this wonderful journey with you guys where I'm making friends from all over the world. And we're talking about crypto, and we're just having a good time where we're going to change the trajectory of our lives, our families' lives, and then use, real estate down the road as a wealth preservation. And man, it's been such a fun time in Hexaco with you guys just completely being toxic and turning Twitter upside down. I was at the gym today and I didn't check Twitter yet. And I was like, all right, I always listen to Sami videos. And, he has a tendency once in a while to throw things out of whack too, like anybody else. Supposedly he's human. I don't know if he is. I always think he's AI, but if he's human, he's going to throw things out of whack. And I'm listening to the Hex episode today, and he's talking about how Richard Hart is saying Hex made its all-time high, and he's claiming this, that, and the other. I'm like, damn, he was saying that. That is bad. If he's saying Hex made its all-time high, oh, man, you want to talk about moving the goalpost. And so I go home, I shower and get ready for my day from the gym. And then I tune into Twitter. And I see that he did not quite say that. Now, you guys have a bad habit of throwing some shit out of context. He very much well said that Hex on Pulse Chain was making a new time high and not the Ethereum Hex. He was very clear with the asset he was talking about. I mean, you can read into that and say, yeah, but that's my Hex that got forked over and he killed the Ethereum Hex. And so now, I need the Pulse Chain Hex to be reaching all-time highs again. And I mean 50 cents all-time high to, go back and get my value. But I mean, all he was doing is pointing to the price chart. And people just need reason to cry. Like get over it. Who cares? Whatever. He's pointing the price chart out for marketing. It's all he's doing. He knows that the all-time high for Ethereum Hex was 50 cents or whatever it was. And he's got good points with some of these price charts. These price charts are very healthy on the monthly and even the weekly. So, I mean, it's just, you guys are crazy when you see something, you get fired up so easy. Why are you guys so mad? Why are you so mad, bro? Norbit, why are you so mad, bro? I don't understand why you got to be mad all the time.
I'm not mad. Only people becoming mad who invest money which they cannot afford to lose. So they become attached.
Well, shit, I should be mad then.
No, we don't need to worry about you, man. That's for sure. You're sorted, man, for the rest of your life. Yeah, it's just so silly. You see, going back again to our last points when we talked about it last time, that the mixture of the people are not ideal, in my opinion. They are immature, not really knowing what they're doing, too emotional, too impatient. They want to do oh yeah, I want to make 100x in 2 days. Yeah, of course. Look around the world, where are you going to make that kind of return on investment? I'm doing my trading exam, and every time if I stick to my rules, I make easily that $500-600 a day. Yeah, easily. If I stick to my rules, not much risking, sticking as soon as I go on the smaller time frame, put a little bit more. As soon as I do these kind of silly things, then big disaster, big disaster.
Yeah, well said. You got to live by the rules as a trader, man. Otherwise, you get wrecked. But I mean, why is everyone so mad, man? I just don't understand you. It's just the stupidest thing for people to get mad about.
This is why they're mad.
Because we're capitulating.
This is why, right here.
I love that price chart.
I do not love it. I would much prefer.
I love it
way up here, sir.
Not me, sir. I love that for accumulation. I don't need to get rich today. I love that for accumulation, man. I was able to put more money in yesterday or day before yesterday. And if that price chart was way up there, a lot of the other assets that have been with, I would not have been able to get these deep value buys that I got just a couple days ago. And that looks,
you'd buy something else. It would be all right.
yeah, that looks like capitulation to me against Pulse.
But I mean, look at this. So you've got this nice little, well, this will be easier. I mean, you've got some good levels on here. It's looking pretty strong right here. We've been consolidating in here for the last little bit. You've got this, you got your low right here. Maybe. I just want to draw a straight line. There we go. You got your low there. This one's just a tiny bit higher low. And then we're back up here.
Yeah,
with
from here
another higher
we don't need
low.
lower
It
lows.
looks like we're trying to W out of this formation. We need things to close above, what is that? And this is in pulse terms, about 104. We need it to about 104 hex per pulse, if I'm not mistaken. So we need to close a little bit above that to say, hey, like the trend really is different now. And we're nearing that. So in fact, I would, oh, maybe we just hit it. Nope, we're close. Somebody do a buy while we're on stream. Norbert, throw 50 grand in there. Let's do it, Norbert.
Let me roll the dice.
Well, that's the thing is I don't think you're rolling the dice at these levels. Like in Pulse terms, this is as cheap as Hex has been since Pulse Chain has
As
been
cheap as
around.
it can get, yeah.
Yeah, this is as cheap as pretty well as it could get. I think you're doing the opposite of rolling the dice. I think buying at these levels, you've got huge upside. Put the PTSD behind us, right? Everyone's suffering from the PTSD of the bear market. We get it. But the chart, I mean, the chart looks really good right here. I personally haven't bought any Hex in a while, just because the chart's been doing what it's doing. But looking at this, I bought some today. Yeah, I bought some today.
Or you can do like Somi talks about this quite often, you know, some ratio. You look at it. I think Corey catched it quite well. You remember when it was like a huge difference between P-Hex and E-Hex? I think you mentioned that you made a good deal at that time. And the next day, I think because I listened to you, I did a fairly good deal. Not as good as you, but I think I've done like 61 or 71, something like that. So I was like, yeah, why not, you know?
Yeah,
sounds good. It was 1 to 2 before, you know, so
it was 1 to 2. Yeah, I mean, after RH kind of flooded it, I traded that bottom down there multiple times and made money on it. I think it's going to continue being highly volatile, and we'll see, like, you know, short-term pumps. I guess Maria, the 414 dev, this is an interesting data point. He, I guess we found out that he is the second largest E-Hex liquid holder or something. That he's been just
I saw that.
He's just accumulating it and buying it up. Like, that means, I mean, he maybe he's trying to be the next Godwell in E-Hex. And I mean, when B-Root said the D-Gens are going to take over the E-Hex asset, I believe it. And I think in that delta where we're at now, and it's like a 5 or 6x to the BankX sell wall, I think inside there, it's going to bounce around and do all kinds of craziness inside that space. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. I mean, the liquidity is low in that space, like in that range. There's very low liquidity. It can move around. It can moonshot, and then it can dump hard, and then moonshot. It's got a lot of room before it starts to get up in that sell wall. Then it would take, you know, like a Maria, if they really wanted to accumulate all that Hex to eat through that sell wall. And who knows if that will ever happen. I don't know. I think it will, but that's just speculation, pure speculation. So
yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, Young Kim, this is interesting. I wonder if this is accurate. It says Maria been selling Teddy to buy E-Hex.
It is
fascinating.
Accurate.
Fascinating.
Yep. It's very fascinating. What's going to happen with that asset? I think, you know, they're accumulating it because they're going to treat it as their next big meme coin. His name is James. God, okay. I didn't know. Okay, I know there was a video with him out, and yeah, okay, his name is James, so now we know it's no longer Maria.
Right?
Why do you have this name Maria? Everyone in crypto's got a stripper's name.
Seriously, right? I've got a few charts. Let's look at the Richard Hart core coins here and take a look through. It's interesting to see where cheap prices are. So this is Hex and Pulse terms. This is the cheapest RH asset on Pulse chain in Pulse terms, period, by like a pretty large margin. I mean, it doesn't get any cheaper on the Fibonacci level. I mean, that's like freaking, what is that? It's like 90%, 90% down versus Pulse. Cheap. I've got these other ones pulled up here too. So this is this is Pulse. And you look at where it's hanging out. I mean, right here, I'm not going clear up to the wick on pulling the fib levels, but on this more recent run, I mean, it's fascinating how it's holding the 786 level. It's holding it pretty nice and tight there.
Which is still the above the band, the upward trend band where we need to be.
Right.
They might end up connecting, Dane, in the future. In the future, they might end up connecting up. And that's when you would anticipate a breakout. It could be a while. That could be a while.
Agreed. Yep. That could be a while. So Pulse looking, I mean, but I like these areas for accumulation on the 786 on the pullback. I mean, I like this as buys if you need to get some more Pulse.
That's deep value.
These ones were really interesting. So PulseX and Inc. were the two that ran hardest in this more recent breakout. And so Norbert and Corey, what are your guys' thoughts on this? Do you think that these two are going to simply maintain better value? They haven't, they're not in the same reload zone that like Hex is or Pulse. You're looking at the fib level extensions. I mean, PulseX almost came down. It wicked down pretty darn close to the 0618. Then it's sitting, like reasonably far above it right now.
Yeah, it is.
So two things. So let's look at this one and we'll look at Inc. They're both kind of similar in this respect. I mean, Inc's sitting even higher above the Inc's sitting even higher above the 618. I mean, in Pulse terms, it's only pulled back. It's pretty interesting. I mean, it's only pulled back 25% on Inc.
It's fascinating.
Do you think, let's see, so 25% on Inc right now, PulseX pulled back, let's see. We're going to go from the wick high down to where we're at right now. I mean, same thing, 24% as compared to, like Hex just got murdered. Hex is, what is that, like 99%? Down from 60%.
99.99999.
In Pulse terms,
as long as it's going like 9999999, you're good, man.
Right?
You always have one digit left.
Right. I mean,
you can never go to zero,
Right. And then, I mean, and Hex is 60% in value against Pulse right now. And so, like, do you guys think that our Inc. and PulseX, are they going to continue to maintain better value in Pulse in relationship to Hex? What do you guys think? Does this trend continue?
I mean,
Corey,
I'll give my thoughts first. Yeah, it's the fact that it's held its value more and that it's not deep in value right now to buy. I'm going to guess, this is contrarian, that it's going to be the laggers on the next pump up. This is just being, and I'm trying to think of every scenario, and I've got bags of all of it. So just in case I'm wrong, because I'm always wrong. You guys thought, Beach Well said Hex will take the lead. You guys thought that last time too, and you were very wrong. The whole community was very wrong. So, yeah, it's interesting. I think it's kind of gotten to a point where Hex is the contrarian play. These held their value very hard against the Pulse ratio. And so to me, maybe they don't pump as hard either. But once again, I could be wrong. What's your thoughts, Norbert?
They slightly more interesting than let's say hex and post chain. They fairly standard. One of them is kind of sort of, another one is a layer one, so it's like obvious. You can describe it very easily. But on ink and posex, there are additional sprinkles on top, which makes it more popping and interesting and more making your brain run a bit um, faster when you think about these tokens. But it's interesting. I think what everyone should do is obviously accumulate your. I love when dollar cost crypto saying that the 5 infinity stones. So p hex, ink, posex, and all these tokens. Just collect them. And when you have some extra bit of cash and you provide liquidity and earning some tokens, you want to move things around. It's interesting to look at the red days, the double-digit red days, and what happened after, which shoot up more. I started doing more and more analytics because Axis, for example, and Crispy Man, they're teaching us so much just by watching them and listening to them. So I started going deep on data, and I'm looking back. Okay, in the last 30 days, which token dropped the least, or on the biggest drop, which one came back the strongest? And Hedron is one of them. Icosa, another one. Ink is pretty good, pretty solid performer. 9-inch and BBC token came out pretty good last time because they made changes to the site, and then now you have new farms.
We got a friend here in Puerto Rico who's very happy about that right now. He's a pretty good size position in the 9-inch and BBC tokens, and he's excited.
Good.
I'm
Me too. I haven't
him.
sold any token.
Yeah, I'm happy.
I'm still using the protocol and.
I literally put $1,000 at the bottom at 9-inch. Like I just threw a small bullet in there, and I'm like, I'll let this thing ride. Whatever it does, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting to consider. I think Dreamer makes an interesting point. I think a lot of people feel this way, including
Contrarian
me.
now.
Yeah, Hex is wrecked. Old history. We should focus on Pulse, or Pulse Chain is a thriving L1. I agree. Typically, until the price charts are saying that something is deep in value, Hex is trying to break out here, in my opinion. So yeah. I'm comfy getting some here.
I'm still in the camp that it won't win the race, but it will have its short burst in the process and try to win the race. It's not dead. It will have short bursts. I'm definitely in the camp that I think Pulse will end up being the winner of the race. But that's just me, in my opinion. It means nothing. I never give financial advice. I'm just some dude on the internet who speculates on his own money. And that's where my money's at, is on Pulse. But Hex is going to have turns where it runs hard against Pulse and gives it a run for its money, and then it will correct back. And then Pulse will take over, or Pulse X or Ink or any of them. But it's not going to just sit there and go down forever. Now, even charts that you look at the Zen chart, it just doesn't go down forever. It has times where it pumps up out of that downward, down forever parabola, and it'll pump up and do a 3, 4, 5x, and then it goes back down to going back and down forever. And Hex is a way better asset than Zen. So it's not going to just go down.
You can't even mention it on the same day.
That's even if you believed it was dead, right? Like we're saying, if you thought it was dead, you're saying that it's never going to have any pumps again. That's not, nothing does that. Nothing. Of course it's going to, and of course it's going to run. It's going to run hard. Like there's just, what I think long term is different from what I think short term, because the price charts say different things. And I'm always changing my point of view or updating my worldview, because the price chart is updating my worldview. And then you guys, being as toxic as you are, show me what's the contrarian play. You guys are I couldn't believe that this morning. Like, you guys are horrible. Not you guys in our chat. You guys are not those guys. We know that. That's why you come and watch our show. It's the other guys out there.
Yeah, the miserable one on Twitter. That's why I'm not even being on Twitter much, to be honest with you. But a couple of things most people forget, to be honest with you. Number one is Richard is not in a position to do anything at all right now, because of this SEC case. So that's one thing, in my opinion. And another thing is Hex is a really well thought through and really well designed token, which can, is flawless, is doing its thing. So I'm sure it's gonna be the time when people will realize that there is value in it because it's reliable. It's like a Lexus, you can every time you go, if you see a Lexus, you're not gonna hesitate. Should I buy this one? It's gonna last for freaking ages, and it's a good quality product. So this is how I see Hex. And
Agreed.
Richard cannot allow Hex to dump to oblivion because he cannot. It's prestige, kind of thing. He cannot let that happen. Otherwise, people are gonna be like, "Oh, why should I trust in this guy?"
And he's gone. And Dane's frozen, I think. Nope, he's back.
Is it mine? Am I back?
You are back, and Norbert's back.
And Norbert's back. I don't know what's going on today. Welcome to Puerto Rico, man.
Welcome to Puerto Rico. I will comment on this one here. I would say, Sal, the crypto foo, you make me want to go and buy more, is what you're doing. Like, you're showing me that this is the contrarian play now. This is a good representation of what I've been talking about on Twitter. It shows me where deep value is at. And yeah, Dane, I think your Hex buy today is going to be just fine.
And once again, it's not just.
And he's frozen. You still there, Norbert?
I'm here. Yeah. We need to
I think
contact.
he's back.
gone,
We need to
or
contact
can you hear
Elon.
me?
Get you Starlink.
You need to call Elon. Can you call Elon, Dane, and let him know that there's an issue?
I need to. Am I back?
You're back.
Yeah, you're back.
Okay. And once again, it's not about just buying something because it's cheap. It's because the chart's trying to break out. So not only is it cheap on this level.
I'll finish. He says not only is it cheap from this level, but it's also breaking out against Pulse, and it's consolidated in a sideways channel, and it's starting to print W's with higher lows. So when you have anything like that on the price chart, that's usually warrants a breakout. Is it guaranteed? No, it's not guaranteed. But typically when you talk to the professionals, the traders, the guys who are smart, like Hans, soon to be Norbert. So like Norbert's starting to do a lot of studying and putting time in. Our good buddy Sprackberger, he's another one that indicates a change of momentum. And so that's all it is. People always say, or the professionals, I don't need to hear the news, or I don't need to know the news. Just show me the price chart and I will tell you when the news events happen. It's really remarkable in that regard. So like, that's all you really need if you know how to read it, because what you're reading is human emotion and the way we continue to self-fulfill what we've done in the past. It's really remarkable when you look at it that way. I think it's amazing. You're back?
I mean,
I think I finished your statement.
No, that was perfect. I mean, you look at the chart, right? Like, it's confirming.
Great.
It's confirming right now on the show. We are moving the markets because of our show today, you guys. We are welcome for Pumping Hex. We are here to pump everyone's bags. But look, I mean, it's freaking beautiful. I mean, look at the chart structure. So you have downward trend here. These are lower lows. I mean, look at this. This is all lower lows. Even down to here, we wick clear down right here.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
this,
did.
I'm not drawing it perfect. You guys get the general idea, though. I mean, you have this downtrend, but then look, I mean, you're getting this You're getting this low here. You're getting a lower low. And now look at this. This is a higher low here. So this is a W. Here's the first leg, the next leg, the second one, and you're getting the third. And on this third one, if it'll print and hold above, I mean, these other levels, I'd like to see it a touch higher, but if it'll print and hold right here, you know, that's kind of like, hey, the trend has changed. It doesn't mean we do a 10x overnight. That means we're in an uptrend now for a change as compared to this absolutely catastrophic utter downtrend that we've been in forever now. And so, you know, like we're looking good. We're looking good.
Agreed.
Like I said, I haven't bought Hex in a long time, but I like it here, so I got some today.
Good. I still have a good size bag. I am happy with my bag, and yeah, we'll see what happens.
Things can change really quickly. People forget that.
Oh, it's crypto, bro. It's freaking crypto, man. This shit is
very quickly.
The irrational, what you think is rational, the irrational happens. Like the opposite. Like no one thought Inc was gonna be the main runner of this last leg up, and did it blow! It put all the OG maxis back in their seat and showed them that they were wrong. It also proved, the price chart proved that Westcott Crypto was right. Like guys, stop trying to be right. Seriously, like it's retarded. Like I don't mean Breeze. Breezology, you're an Inc maxi, so I leave you out of this. You're on a different level. You were down there buying Inc at 40 cents, man. My hat's off to you. I wish I would have been.
Me too, man. Me too. I was keep buying. Whatever spare change I had, I was keep buying 40, 50.
He was putting massive chunks in there at the bottom. I give him props for that.
That was pretty cool. Yeah, I like this comment. I'm a trader, and my opinion is sideways, up or down. I guarantee one of those things is right.
That's right.
It.
Boom. Yeah.
I like it.
Nobody wants to come on and fight with us. I thought like my post today would have sparked some people to come in and argue with us about the Richard Hart tweet. Nothing.
Yeah, where's all the T-share maxis? Come and jump in and we'll chat about it.
You guys were crying on Twitter. Oh man, I opened Twitter up and it was everybody. I mean, maybe not you guys in the chat, like I said, and maybe it's why you guys aren't coming on and fighting. But man, Twitter was just like, it was stupid, and everybody was crawling out of the rabbit hole to cry. I was like, God, guys.
And I don't get it. Like these guys don't have nothing better to. Man,
they don't, man.
You see, I'm on a live show in my car. You know, I'm not sitting at home in the comfort of my own home and sipping some tea. It's like I'm trying to squeeze in as much as I can in every single day.
Like the comfort of my own home, and I am watching this stuff 24/7, but I'm not.
Yeah. I'm happy for you. Don't take me wrong. I'm happy for you. That's why you and Dane, you're a big motivation for me. That is achievable, is manageable. And you can do it if you stay consistent. What I'm trying to say is that I just never understood people moaning on a social media platform, which no one cares about you, by the way. Doesn't matter who you are. No one gives a damn, what your opinion is, because tomorrow is going to be another day. Maybe tomorrow the sentiment change or the narrative change, and then your opinion yesterday is just non-existent anymore. Like no one even remembers what you said yesterday. So why would you spend your time on a negative thing instead of comment on things or share like a smart thing which Axis or Crispy Man or someone in our ecosystem said? Record it on a screen recorder on YouTube, put it on Twitter, tag a couple of things. It's so much more productive and in so much more helpful for your bag and for other people as well. You giving out positive energy. You're helping another individual who putting a lot of time and effort into helping us and educating us. So we all win at the end. By moaning about something, it's like, who cares, man? Like,
it's to K Crypto's point here too. Deep value all over the place. In fact, I saw Hans post this morning. I love Hans, man. This guy is like, he's so spot on with stuff. He said most altcoins are returning to their 2023 accumulation zone. He goes, oh, you forgot to look outside of your bubble, huh? What? He's nailing it. You're like, everyone's in their bubble and think like, oh, we're the only ones wrecked. No, man, you're in crypto. Go buy freaking real estate. Go buy bonds. Go buy stocks. Get out of crypto.
And I'm telling you, like even in this last little meme coin season, I feel like so many people felt like we were totally getting left behind. We've done it a bunch of times on the show. You go look at other L1 blockchains. Apart from Solana, everyone's sitting in the same place pretty well on the price charts. Go look at the other dexes. Everyone's sitting in the same place for the most part. Like everything's fine. It really is. It's fine. Now we all have PTSD from the absolute ravaging that Hex took during the bear market. I get it. We've got bags too. We would all love to be up 1,000x by now. We get it.
1,000?
But man, like, well, you have to get to 1,000 before you get to 10,000, Corey. So that's how that math works. But look, like, you know, if we're trending on the same premise and time frames that all the other bull runs have followed, and I know there's always people saying this time is different. So far, that hasn't been the case. So is it different now? Sure. There's some things that are different, but man, like all in all, apart from the ETFs really pushing and making that parabolic run very quickly in Bitcoin, I mean, we got the pullback on Bitcoin right now. Everything else is pulling back. Like, it's fine. These are the opportunities that, like, frankly, you should be hoping for if you have money on the sidelines to be able to buy in again. And man, if you have to train your brain to buy when everybody's pissed off and to sell when everybody's euphoric. Like time and time again, it kicks me in the nuts. My SolidX bag was up a grip, and my brain's like, we're not selling this. We're holding for $1,000, and everyone's euphoric, and I'm like, I knew I should have taken some profits, but I didn't. Here we are. But I'm learning. I'm going to learn from these. This isn't I want to learn from the experiences, not put my head in the sand.
Oh, you're not going to be a victim.
Yep.
Oh, exactly. Got it.
Exactly. So it's going to be fine. Like everything's going good. We're all waiting for an ETH pump. I mean, everything, all of DeFi, all the other layer ones that are forks of ETH, everyone's waiting for an ETH pump. And we've got bullish things about ETH. I mean, it was China that approved, or Hong Kong approved the ETH ETF. So that's super bullish. They have a GDP not that much, at least the data we looked at the other day, not that much lower than the US. So a lot of money can come through there, and it's not traded in the yuan. I think you said yuan. But it's not traded in government paper. It's traded literally, you can, like it is in the US, you can go, the other ETFs are in the US, you can go and settle those in crypto. Like that's really bullish because that means people could go, they could swap their ETFs, their ETH for the ETFs, and then when there's an ARB opportunity, then they can swap back.
Right.
Then they can also go when it's time to be able to diversify out of ETH into other alts. They can bring the money back in. You can't do that with Bitcoin, at least how the ETF is set up in the United States. The ETF is settled in American dollars. And so like a lot of bullish things there with ETH. Just got to be a little patient, bros.
Patience. Oh man. That's everyone will tell you and scream at you, we've been waiting for 3 years already. That's what everyone will tell you. Well, you got to wait another year. This is going to be the hardest one. And so we don't know. And to your point, Addy, can we agree that RH ecosystem start pumping properly end of August? No. It could go longer than August before we get a really decent, 10, 20, 30, 100x, whatever you're looking for. Who knows what it really does? But Hex did not do, I mean, it obviously made a lot of gains before, but it did its parabolic massive run after the last Bitcoin top of last cycle. So I don't know. It was a late runner. Pulse Chain could end up being a late runner this time around too. You have the RH case in October. It will ETH ETF be approved by August? I don't know. It's another question mark. If it's anything like the Bitcoin ETF was like shot down, I think 3 times before they finally, 3 or 4 times before they approved it and they went live. So I don't know. This is like, I think the first round for this, or the first attempt, is in May. We'll see what happens. And, will privacy be part of the chain by August? I don't know. I hope so. Be awesome. Would RH be streaming by August? I hope so. That'd be awesome. These are the things that you're going to ask yourself if August is going to be our time. And maybe it is, but maybe it's not at the same time.
I'm sure a lot of good things are coming, and Richard is not gonna just let it go that easy, like otherwise all these years of hard work, it would just go wasted.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
In the meantime, Norbert, you can buy dick with butt.
Yeah, or I can grab tits with ass, like I would rather do that than buy dick with butt, that's for sure. But yeah.
Hey, I own some dick with butt. Are you fudding my bags, bro?
Yeah, don't fund our bags, Norbert.
Don't fund my dick with butt bags, bro.
Once I was put in a very negative situation in a hotel. I was one of the top performing concierge in London. And this interesting hotel director brought up an allegation against me and a disciplinary action. And I'm like, why do we even do this? Like I didn't even get the point of it. So we went to the meeting, human resources was there. And then the guy, he could bring up 2 points. The first one, I just dealt with it like with one sentence. Then he brought up the second point. And then he was keep repeating that point in a different way, but he was keep repeating himself 5 or 6 times during the meeting. And I'm like, yeah, but you just keep repeating yourself, but you're saying it slightly differently. I did understand what you said, but my point is this, and this, and this. And you know what? Looks like we're not going anywhere with this discussion. So
not you are entitled. He's right. Not until you agree he's right.
No. Let me finish, and you will understand what happened there. And I said to him, you are entitled to have your opinion, but it doesn't mean that I have to agree with you. And on that bombshell, I just looked at human resources. I'm like, find out how many day notice I have to give you, and I'm out of here. And the guy was like, oh, it doesn't work like that. You have to give this in writing. And I'm like, buddy, don't worry about it. By 7 o'clock, I'm finishing tonight. There's gonna be a letter on your desk with my name and signature, and we don't have to worry about anything anymore. So yeah, that's my thing.
His dick with butt.
Yeah, I gave them a dick and then a butt. I gave them both. I gave them the dick first, and then kiss my ass on the way out. One of the best decisions of my life, because after that the hotel went down, the quality, everyone was saying that, man, you were the soul of this hotel. I was a very different type of concierge. Normally the concierge is the guy who's like stiff and standing behind the desk, like with a straight posture and like pointing at the luggage porters. Yeah, you do this, you do that. I was different. I was making coffees and whatnot, everything, whatever the guest needed.
I know that price chart.
That was good. I mean, it's interesting to consider. So, like, if you measure it, Hex actually did its hardest run in the early days. So, if we measure from down here, I mean, this once again, this isn't going to be perfect. We're just ballparking here, but I mean, that's that's 168x.
Wow.
And what is that? 124 days, and this is the early days. That's January 7th to May 10th in 2020. So, I mean, you got 170-ish X right there. I mean, no other time on the price chart did you get those moves. I mean, you got some strong moves. This one right here.
What about the late? Yeah, the big parabolic. That from there to that top.
I mean, this one's a 30x.
Interesting.
That first move was the biggest by a huge margin.
Yeah. What is that starting point? About a penny or maybe a little less?
Yeah, what is that? Yeah, about. Oh no, this. I measured it from, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros and a 5. No, that's not right.
No, that's like the bottom, the all-time bottom.
No, I did.
Right.
I measured it because up
right
here.
There.
Oh, I've got this. Oh, I think I've got this in ETH terms. Is that why it's giving us these funky numbers? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, put it in USDC. That would be 5-minute chart. So that's the ETH chart. Okay. Yeah, put it in USDC. I want to know what that last parabolic run was versus like.
Yes, I mean, if we measure, so this will be different. Yeah, to your point, Corey, maybe it was more explosive in the end compared, to like this move. I mean, that's a freaking 4,000, almost a 5,000. 1, 2, yeah, that's like a 5,000x right there from the bottom. So that's April 5th of 20 to October 31st of 20. And then I think and then look, it just disappears in this. So I think the one
Yes.
you're thinking of, Corey, is like from
There.
here. So yeah,
Yep.
this is think about, this is a penny to 55 cents. That's only 55x compared to this move.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's where it took the most liquidity to pump. So
Right.
it's definitely an interesting, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Beer bug run was crazy. Yeah, freaking COVID run was stupid. Just wild. Yeah. Paul says cope/log mode on or off.
Cope mode.
Seriously, right?
Yeah, turn the cope mode on. You're doing it wrong, Dane. You're just now one of the putters is all you are.
That's right. I mean, it didn't necessarily start late in the bull. That's the thing, is you look at the chart, like it did great from the early days. Like it had its dips, right? Like anything, it had its dips, but it did good from the jump, or pretty close to the jump, I should say. If we come back to the very beginning of the price chart, I mean, to make this huge move, what is this? This is from, once again, some of you guys have been around a while. Maybe the chart starts before this. This is December 17th of 2019 to May 11th of 2020. So that's what, 6 months?
Yeah.
I mean, in 6 months, you were up a frickin', that's a 16-ish X. Well, hold on. I didn't measure from the bottom. I mean, you're up just an obscene amount. This is in USD terms. I mean, to this wick, I mean, you're up. That's 1,000x right there in 6 months. So this is so back to your question earlier, Corey. Like, why are people so upset? It's because a lot of the community that was early here, like, this is what people are used to. I think a lot of people anticipated these same types of things with Pulse Chain, with PulseX, with Hex on Pulse Chain. Like, this is what the Hex community is used to from Richard Heart and his creations. Like, you have these insane runs, and they have their pullbacks, but the thing just freaking keeps going. Now, to Richard's credit, the charts are trending up. It appears like they found their bottom. They're trending in the right direction. We just haven't had any of these parabolic moves yet. For me, I think they're coming. I think they'll be here. Like, I don't have any doubts about that. I think it's far more likely they'll be here than less likely. And if I had to guess, I wouldn't be surprised if it was this year or early next. You know what I mean? In fact, if it wasn't this year at some point, I think I'd be a little bit surprised. But I'm prepared either way. And this is why people are so upset, because they're used to this movement. And then you have Richard share how PHEX has done an all-time high. And they're like, Richard, I'm still down for 55 cents. Like, people want to measure from the top down. And I get it. I get it.
Yep. It's funny because those early days there that you have it drawn on that chart there, Dane, there was not a lot of economic energy that had to be lifted off the floor there. Like, it was easy to push that price chart up and relevant to what we have now as a community and what, the people involved now. It's magnitudes of a difference. And so, it's going to be a slower climb just because of that one thing right there.
Yep.
I strongly believe that we're going to be. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Norbert. You're good. Go ahead.
No. I strongly believe that we're going to have our time, but much later. Let the people have the fluffy animals and they different body parts with the
Are you
different
fudding my bag again, Norbert? You
other
keep
body parts
fudding
combined
my bag
together.
today.
Let them have it. Yeah, but one of the most important thing the complainers forget about. If you look at the data is so brilliant. What Exis and Crispy does. Data is the crucial. We are living in a data century. Um, the retail is not here yet. All this money which is pumping into crypto right now is mainly from the bigger guys. We don't have the retail here yet. And I started to have some inquiries from certain friends and business individuals. So hopefully I'm gonna have meetings with them in the near future, and hopefully I will be able to onboard them and explain things for them, so then they can make their own decision. But yeah, our time will come. But probably gonna be like when everything else had their own run, and it's good for us as well. It gives us more time to stabilize, to build new things, and make us even more attractive and more reliable. Let's say.
Right. Well, I actually don't think we need to be like the very last thing to run. I mean, I think in general, right? The general, and I think most people are aware of this, right? You see Bitcoin run and then find some stability and see those profits roll into ETH. And I know this isn't like all like perfect ABC, type of thing, but generally, right? Bitcoin to ETH, and then ETH finds some stability, and then ETH to alt. I mean, and like I said, everything that's a fork of Ethereum, I think everything in that respect is waiting for an ETH run. Everything is. And I think once you see that ETH run, then you'll see that money kind of rotate back into other places in DeFi. And that's the time to, like, in my opinion, that's where the marketing really matters. That's where the green candles really matter. That's when you want to pick up users.
Yes.
You can outshine the stuff and say, hey, over here we are better. And that's when you go and you start doing your laps. And also, like, ETH's done its run, or done a large chunk of it. Then you could take profits if you had a bunch of those on your ETH, roll it in, and really like make some green candles. So I don't think we're going to be the very last one. I don't think we need to be. I just think, yeah, once again, when do you think ETH is going to start to get frothy and toppy? Is it the end of the year? Is it later? Is it before? I don't know. But that's like we're hanging on that right now.
Yep, I agree. And I mean, I keep saying it. We're just one big, massive leverage play on ETH. If you're bullish on ETH at all, to me, it's this is an easy no brainer. Instead of just buying ETH, come over here and buy this and get leverage. Versus ETH's gains. This is the play. So
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah, Danny says, what bull, been very selective. He said, oh, wait, right here. No, hold on.
I disagree with that one, Danny. We don't want rate cuts. Rate cuts, that means usually that's when that's when the economy gets wrecked. The economy gets destroyed after Fed cuts the rates. And so we want to see these rates maintain for a while before they cut. And otherwise, we could see a left translated cycle.
Yep, agreed.
If we see a rate cut later this year. I'm hoping they hold them all the way to 2025. We see a crypto top, then they pivot, and we see everything just get wrecked. Everything. And like by then, hopefully you took some profits.
Or stake everything 15 years.
Yeah, I guess you'll stake everything 15 years. That's yeah, not me, sir.
Just not imagine me. The yield, bro. All right, cool, guys. We've got to jump off on another call. We appreciate you joining here. Norbert, thanks for jumping in, buddy. We always appreciate seeing you. Thank you for those of you in the chats. And we
smash the like, hit subscribe. Come on, guys. Get over here and stop watching on Twitter. God, Twitter's horrible. It's a cesspool. Come over on YouTube where you'll get all the love. Come on, man. Jeez, you guys. Get over here. Yep. Thanks, guys.
Like and subscribe, guys. We appreciate you. See you next week.
Peace.